In June of 2020, a team of top-tier corporate auditors was searching for 1.9 billion euros. The money belonged to a German corporation and was supposedly sitting in bank accounts right here, in the Makati financial district of the Philippines. When the auditors finally contacted the Philippine banks to verify the deposits, the banks told them they did not have the money. In fact, they had never even heard of the company. This discovery turned the traditional idea of a bank robbery on its head. Instead of thieves breaking in to steal cash, investigators realized the vault had been empty from the start. The company behind this mystery was Wirecard. At the time, they represented the absolute peak of German technology, standing alongside the country's most famous corporate giants. Wirecard's business was based on being a digital middleman. When a consumer bought a flight online, Wirecard processed the payment, took a small fee, and passed the rest to the airline. By 2018, they were worth $28 billion. They had just been invited to join the DAX, an elite group of the 30 most powerful and trusted companies in Germany. Wirecard's massive scale and perfect reputation made the ultimate truth unthinkable. As investigators began to peel back the layers, they found that the reality inside the company looked nothing like the numbers they showed the world. To keep their growth numbers rising, Wirecard executives began inventing partner companies around the world that existed only to generate fake revenue streams. With round-tripping, Wirecard sent funds to partner A, who passed them to partner B, and right back to Wirecard. By looping this money, they recorded every pass as a new sale, creating an exponentially growing stack of receipts from non-existent customers. When prestigious auditors like Ernst & Young came to check the books, they verified the fabricated paperwork. They were checking that the files were in order, instead of demanding to see the actual cash in the bank. Traditional watchdogs are built to find accounting errors. They aren't designed to catch a group of criminals who own the vault and spend years perfecting the evidence of what's inside. The illusion finally cracked when an internal lawyer at Wirecard named Pav Gill realized the company's math was physically impossible. He decided to leak internal data to prove what was happening. Those files went to journalists at the Financial Times, who spent months digging through the spreadsheets and exposing the massive discrepancies. Wirecard retaliated with tactics seen in spy movies. They hired ex-intelligence officers and hackers to follow the journalists, monitor their movements, and intimidate them. Most shockingly, the German government's financial regulator, BaFin, chose to defend the company. Instead of investigating the fraud, they threatened to arrest the journalists for market manipulation. Wirecard's status as a national success story created a dangerous blind spot. Because they wanted the company to be a hero, powerful institutions protected it rather than admitting they had been deceived. The pressure became too great once the Financial Times officially published the undeniable leaked documents for the entire world to see. The auditors were finally cornered. They were forced to publicly admit they could not find any evidence that the money actually existed. This chart maps the company's value during that week. Once the world realized the money was an invention, Wirecard's $28 billion valuation plummeted to zero in a matter of days. As soon as the fake receipts were challenged by a simple bank check, the entire corporate facade disintegrated. An empire built on fabricated sales has no foundation to stand on. The fallout was swift. The CEO, Markus Braun, resigned immediately and was soon arrested by German authorities on fraud charges. But his right-hand man, Jan Marsalek, didn't stick around to answer questions. He disappeared the same day the company collapsed. Marsalek is now on Europe's most wanted list. He is reportedly living in Moscow under a false identity, working with Russian intelligence. While the executives fled or went to jail, thousands of everyday investors and employees were left behind. Many of them watched their entire life savings vanish overnight. The Wirecard story reminds us that a prestigious corporate label, a massive headquarters, and a high valuation are not the same thing as the truth. It shows us that even government regulators and the world's biggest auditors can be blinded by hype and fail to do the very jobs meant to protect us. When the systems meant to protect the public fail, the truth depends on people brave enough to speak up. Protecting whistleblowers is often the only way to stop a fraud before it destroys everything.